Something we can't talk about?
I mean, it wasn't like Kobe Bryant was dribbling the ball.
Right,
you know
right,
what I'm saying? When
yeah,
he was bouncing it.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like Shaq had the ball. You know what I'm saying?
It was a little shaky.
You know what I'm saying? So you know, yeah. So it was like, you know, when we deposited, you know how Shaq shoot his free throws.
Yeah. Wanna go live?
It bounced and hit the rim and came right back. You know, so it is what it is. My thing with that is before you have any event, you know if you can cover an event. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't take a chance and say, you know what, I'm just gonna rely on something else to make it happen and hope that it works.
Right.
Like you already have, like if you got a true game plan, you already know what's what. You got it set in stone. You already have your contracts. Mm-hmm. Like everything is already guaranteed. You already have your deposits, whatever you need. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You already got 1 foot in. You know, by the end of the event, you should already be walking through.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he's not a dummy. I'm not gonna talk bad about him, but you know what you have and what you don't before an event like that starts. You think these NFL players and stuff like that want to play football for free? You think the owners are gonna take a chance and then make them do something and not pay them what they're worth? No, it's not gonna happen. It's a fat lawsuit right there waiting to happen.
Business.
It's a business.
You're a professional now. You have to make money.
Yeah. You know, everybody for the most part, I believe, showed up and competed like they were supposed to.
Yeah.
But regardless of the outcome, as far as checks and stuff, you know, I'm already past it. You know, I do expect my money. Ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But
hate the man.
But as far as like being pissed and upset and want to bash him and stuff, no. But I will say, it's no way in hell that you don't know that you can't cover everything before the event even starts.
True.
You know what I mean? But he still gave people something to look forward to. I had fun, you know, sumo wrestling. Not the most comfortable thing to have.
I saw that.
Wrapped around you,
that's tough.
It's like a
Diaper.
it's more than a diaper. It's a water hose.
I remember you or Razor asked me for lotion or something.
Yeah, it was me.
Chafing,
I mean, it wasn't really. Yeah, it was chafing. It was chafing, but I was ashy.
Oh, okay.
You didn't put no cocoa butter on?
Nah, man. I showed up. Ashy. I had sweats on. It was ashy.
Redcon was there. Oh, yeah. Redcon crew.
Aaron.
Shout out to Redcon1.
Shout out
at Redcon1 Instagram.
So, but it was fun, and Muwashi. That's what it's called. Muwashi. And I actually practiced in it for the most part. I practiced
at the house?
No. My boy Jim, Rodney Brewer at Combat Club.
Okay, he had one.
Yeah, he just had his cage. He had the whole setup, just the cage, you know. Yeah. So my guy Sumo Dan from LA, big shout out to him, and Eric the trainer in LA from Celebrity Sweat. He sent Sumo Dan over here to help me out for a week. And I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. You know, you got to get used to squatting down.
Yeah, and staying there.
Squatting down and staying there. Like, who can truly, like, well, I can't. I ain't gonna say who can truly do that, but just to be squatting down like a baseball catcher.
Yeah.
And just sit there
NFL
and practice that. And just, it's a lot. And you got to move your feet a certain way. You can't just, you know, we're American and we play, you know, football. So we're trained like come off the line. You just boom, all here and there. With sumo, it's a lot different. You know, in football, you're trained to just drive. Right. You know what I mean? Sumo, it's like you are literally, your feet are like this, and you got to slide across the floor. You got to have your hands moving a certain way. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty.
You can't be really square. You can't really feel like any sport though. You can't be off balance. Right. It's a lot. It's a lot to learn.
And plus, you got a big guy. I mean, you're a big guy, but you got another big guy coming at you, putting their weight on you.
See how you pick me up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Never been picked up like that in my life.
Wow. Would you ever think in your life that you were going to be in a sumo match?
Never. Never. But you know what I said? Why not? Because me, I'm a loner. I like to just chill, stay home. I'll smoke. I'll chill, watch some documentaries, horror flicks.
I'm with you there, man.
So man. You know what? I'm gonna say this. I'm just gonna say this out there right now. So, my best friend, Julie, she be watching stuff on TV. Man, I ain't gonna lie, she be watching Gossip Girls and all that other stuff and got your boy watching it sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So I be watching Gossip Girls,
Real Housewives or something?
Grey's Anatomy,
There you go.
Ozark.
That's a good show.
I don't know about that one really. What else, man?
What else?
Netflix shows?
This is all on Netflix.
Gilmore Girls?
Black
I
Mirror.
don't know. Gilmore Girls.
Vampire Diaries.
What?
Vampire Diaries. Yeah, man, she had me watching all this stuff, man. I
Now,
mean,
now the
sometimes
question is, are you excited for the next episode to watch?
I don't know what's coming on next. I don't pay attention to this
Yes.
stuff. I just happen to,
Yeah.
be just.
Yeah, he's like,
It's on,
"Watch
so I watch
episode
it. You know what I
8."
mean?
He's
So it's not
like
even me
your
like that, dude. Like I don't
Girls.
even.
That is.
Once it's off, I don't even think about the shit. You know what I mean? It's over with. But yeah, I be watching bullshit.
You got a bunch of dogs too. Let's talk about the dogs.
Yeah, I got dogs.
Yeah.
I got my dogs, man. I got my Frenchies and stuff like that.
Shout out to @RumbleTimeFrenchies on Instagram.
Yeah, I got two amazing kennel partners, Dr.
Beautiful
Garcia,
dogs, man.
Al Garcia, and my boy Robert Parker. Two amazing guys that are great kennel partners, man.
They local here?
No, Parker's in North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
Was it North or South? Charlotte? Is that North?
North.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Al is in California,
Yeah.
SoCal. The Chino area.
Okay.
So, Al treats the dogs like they're his kids.
That's the best.
You know what I mean? I started out with him first, and he had the same vision I did. And we're not like those backyard breeders where we just pump out puppies. It's like we may have one litter a year,
Okay.
2 tops, and then we're like, you know what I mean? We
Yeah,
let the
let
dogs
them
live
rest.
their life and have fun and be a dog and all of that. We don't just pump out
Yeah.
puppies out. We don't.
That's
yeah.
great, man.
Parker, his dogs just live. He's got property and the dogs run the house and he's just there visiting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got bullies that I've hooked him up with and Frenchies that I've hooked him up with, and he treats them like everyday people.
Frenchies are such cool dogs.
They're dope.
They have their own little personality
They're
about
dope.
them, man.
Yeah.
They have a lot of energy for
They
little
do.
stocky dogs. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
They do, yeah. So it's fun. I've been dealing with the dogs since I was about in college. Cool, look like a pit bull. I was happy with that. You know what I mean? So shout out to all the real pit bull owners out there that don't just not fighting dogs, but really taking care of them.
Yep, loving them the way they
Yeah.
deserve it.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
Speaking of college, what college you go to and what'd you?
Lassen College,
Where's that at? Is that Georgia?
Northern California.
Northern
Yeah,
California.
I was about. It's in Susanville, California. I don't think it's on the map.
I've never heard of it.
It's up in the mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about hour and a half, maybe 2 from Chico State.
Mhm.
Humboldt.
I know that.
You know what I mean? It's up there.
Yeah.
It's way up there.
What'd you do in college?
Russell.
Russell. Okay.
Russell. Yeah. Russell and lollygag around. We were about an hour, 15 and a half from Reno.
Okay.
So we used to go to. I just remember, man, going to Hot August Nights, Street Vibrations. Hot August Nights was for the cars.
Mhm.
Street Vibration was for motorcycles.
Right.
And it was fun, but that was right when right after 9/11.
Okay,
You know what I
so
mean?
like
So it was still,
2002.
it was still. Well, I went to college. I graduated in 02.
Okay.
So that was 02, 03, around 05, all of that.
So were you born in Georgia?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Born in Georgia.
And how old were you when you moved to California?
Well, I got a scholarship. in
Okay.
wrestling.
So you went
Yeah.
for college.
See, a lot of people don't know this. I didn't even know this.
A lot of people don't know I wrestled at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
A
just
lot
think
of, and
it's-
a lot of people,
That's great.
a lot of people think I can't wrestle because DC took me down. But like since I've been in light heavyweight, how many people took me down? One.
That's it.
But dummies always talking about work on your wrestling, work
I
on
know-
your
I
wrestling.
know
Like,
Glover
motherfucker,
Teixeira
like, do
didn't
you
take me
realize
down.
like nobody's taking me down but DC since I truly
Yeah.
went up to light heavyweight? But I let them talk and I let them think what they want to think because at the end of the day they're still gonna watch me, not somebody else. So I'm not really worried about what they have to say. They talk about my cardio and stuff. There's nobody else in UFC. I don't care about a pace. I'm trying to fight and give people what they want and get paid. You know what I mean? People don't realize that. They think, oh, work on your cardio, work on your wrestling. Like I give it 1,000% whenever I throw a punch, a kick, no matter what it is. You know what I mean? And if you see me doing crappy out there, you know, I'm just not there. You know what I mean? Or the guy is just better than me. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. But it's all good. I don't mind people talking. You know what I mean? I don't mind people. Yeah, that's the way I feel about it. You know, do I like I put on my Instagram? I have, you know, no expectations. None. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. You know, if you have, what am I gonna have an expectation for just to take a chance of being let down? You know
what's the future like? I mean, everybody's talking, man.
Oh, not
everybody
yet.
wants to
not
know,
yet.
man.
Don't even say anything.
Everybody. Well, we'll save that. We'll save that.
What I want to know, because we're talking about it. But how old were you when you first started wrestling? When did you?
8.
You were 8 years old.
8, yeah.
Okay. Now, was that your first combat sport that you decided, like, this is what I want to do?
Yeah.
I want to wrestle.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were wrestling. Were you on a team at that age? Okay.
Yeah, well, just, you know, recreational.
Right.
I remember the first day my granddad took me to wrestling practice. Yeah. The same gym I started in was the same gym I finished at in high school.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
And my coach that I started with, he was in high school when I was 8.
Okay.
And then when I graduated, all 4 years, you know, in high school, he was my coach then.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's
so
amazing.
he taught me.
You guys got a
ton.
bond there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right. So
Coach
now
Barnto, that's it. That's what it is. Coach Barnto. Big shout out to
Shout
him,
out,
Jared.
yeah, absolutely. So now all right, high school wrestling, you get a scholarship to wrestle in college. How many years in college did you
It
wrestle?
was only a 2-year school.
2 years
Yeah,
old, okay. So
yeah.
it's like a junior college
Yeah.
type situation? Okay.
Yeah.
And
You
then
know, I mean, I was
wrestle-
recruited by other colleges, but I just wanted to win a title.
Yeah.
You know, and I was happy with that.
And you won a
You
title.
know, I won a junior college national title.
Nice.
We placed, that was my sophomore year. We placed second at nationals. Team was solid.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever been on a more solid team, you know, my sophomore year in college than I have. You know, all of my guys had confidence like no other. Like when we had dual meets, like you can tell, like the energy we had. We looked at each other, and we knew we were ready to just like murder somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because when we wrestle, like all the real wrestlers know, like when you go to college and you gotta wrestle, you gotta like go against some real studs. It ain't just, you know, you're the only person in the wrestling room this time that's just a man. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody in there come from someplace and they always felt like they were the man.
That's right.
So the competition is like thick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when we wrestle, you know, my coach was Rex Branham and Joe Arminas and Paul Gomez and Kelly Revelle. So Bogart, man, we had a squad. You know what I mean? And everybody was just hungry and just wanted to wrestle and compete. When we ran, you know, 6-7 miles, we pushed each other. You know what I mean? So my team was real solid. You know, I won the national championship. My boy Charles Lloyd won the national championship, and Charles was like one of the best I've ever seen. You know, came from Mount Carmel in Chicago. Like he was wrestling Division I national champions and like even putting them on their back. Like,
Okay.
Charles was like legit. He was legit. You know what I mean? He wasn't. He messed me up. We wrestled and they call it the twister or whatever. I had never seen this shit before. He hit me with that thing, boy, my chest popped.
What is a twister?
It's like you get a front headlock and you roll through and you grab the opposite leg and you're truly like folded up.
Wow.
I saw it coming, but when somebody got a good grip and they truly roll,
That's it.
yeah, you're gonna go with
kind
it.
of stuff.
Yeah, and if you try to stop it, you'll eventually go, but something's gonna hurt along the way. And that's what I try to do, because he wrestled 133 and I wrestled 174 at the time.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you what your weight was right now.
And he hit that move on me, man. I was like, no more. No
Hey
more.
Chris, do me a quick favor.
Yeah.
Send a message to Alicia. Tell her 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. because we're running a little late.
Got it.
Yeah, if you can send her a DM.
Right.
Thank you. So, when did the itch start for you with, all right, now I'm wrestling, but now I kind of want to get into mixed martial arts. When did that ignite?
When it truly never crossed my mind, but whenever I even attempted to kind of grapple, I was in college and we were just some wrestlers trying to just get each other's back. You know what I mean? And another one of my guys, Kelly Anderson from Reno, he fought in Bellator. We wrestled together and stuff too. Kelly was heavyweight. Him and I I remember him and I were grappling, just wrestling around. We didn't know one hole from the next. So that was like the first time I had ever like dabbled, you know what I mean? Yeah. But my neighbor at the time kept asking me, check out his dad's gym. And Moses Valentine, that was his name. His dad was Rudy Valentine in the Iron Horse Gym in Susanville. That was like my very first gym I had ever stepped foot in.
Wow. How was that for you?
Try. I was always around athletes and sports, so just being in a gym was kind of natural.
Okay.
Trying that MMA was it was easy to pick up.
Cool.
You know, for wrestlers it's a lot easier because just our mechanics and our mentality when it comes to doing stuff.
Yeah.
You know, for us it's easy for us to learn our stand-up game if you can't take us down.
True.
You know what I mean?
Very
and
true.
if you can't take somebody down and they can strike, you're in for
a treat.
yeah. Yeah.
So now you know you're wrestling since you're 8 years old. When did you realize that you had punching power?
I always knew I was like a strong kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I never truly knew how strong I was. I don't think I really gave a shit of how strong I really was. I just knew I was strong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my granddad used to always tell me, like, you're strong, you can't hit people. You know, because I got a little cousin named Sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason we call her Sugar is because when she was born, she weighed 5 pounds, so 5 pound bag of sugar. You know what I mean? So, like I used to like poke at her and stuff when she was a little baby and stuff, and I was like 13, 14, and he would always say you can't, because when I touch her sometimes she's a kid, she just lose her balance and fall, and he would be like, you can't like play like that, you don't realize how strong you are. And I just never put it into consideration of like any of that stuff. So when I always knew I was strong, I always knew I was fast and explosive and athletic, but I was never a fighter like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was just an athlete.
Yeah.
You know, tough. I was never the kind that would back down from a challenge, but I was also the kind that wasn't looking for trouble.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I think I just always had confidence in myself, and I knew once I was able to properly throw a punch that if I eventually hit you, you'll go down. You know, I truly believed in my power, but I had never like truly tried it on anybody else. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Hitting pads in a bag is different than actually touching somebody's soul.
Of course.
You know, so I think the first time I truly popped somebody was well, I remember my last day of truly getting beat up in practice. I think that night I learned how to punch back.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was in LA and I was at my old gym, Shootbox USA, and I was on Melrose and La Brea, like literally on the corner of Melrose and La Brea, and there was a Chevron gas station. Everybody that live in LA know what I'm talking about. So, little futon spot right there, and shout out to Ben Still. I met you over there too, Pimple. But we had this guy named Justin Shaw, and rest in peace, Bully. And Bully he's a big, and this was like my first time like interacting with everybody on Shootbox USA. Like the gym had like just opened. I see this dude pull up in this little 2-door hatchback BMW, and he steps on. He's this big bodybuilder looking dude, right? You know, he's looking LA. You know what I'm saying? Looking real LA. And I'm like,
got the tan,
he got the shades on, spiky hair, and I'm like, who is this fucking cornball? So, but he turned out to be one of the coolest dudes, you know what I mean? Yeah. And Bully was just big, so I didn't know much about MMA, and he was just bullying me around. His name was Bully, you know what I mean? And then one day I just remember him and George Oliveira was like, they beat me up. They were bigger, you know, more experienced. And I just remember George put it on me one day, Bully put it on me one day, and I said, you know what, I'm tired of this, man. I remember I was about to take a shower. I'm in the bathroom, I looked in it's one of those moments that you see in the movie when a little kid like looks in the mirror and like tell you like, I'm a kick his ass tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I was at. I was like, you know what, I'm tired of this. I remember the showers running. I take hot showers. So when the mirror's getting all foggy, and I just remember looking in the mirror like this, and I'm like, I'm tired of getting beat up. I'm gonna do this. Tomorrow we're gonna swing back. You know, I'm like gassing myself up. I swear to God, I'm gassing myself up, dude. So I'm like, yeah, you're gonna swing back tomorrow. You're not taking this no more. And I just remember, dude, I just started shadowboxing. Butt booty naked, dog. Butt ass naked, and I'm like, it's steamy in there. I'm like swinging, like I'm doing everything. Like I'm like practicing what I'm gonna do tomorrow when we spar. And I went in there, and Bully was doing his thing and came at me, and I just said, you know what, just go for it. And I went for it, and I didn't give him a chance to throw one more punch. I threw so many combinations, and I threw them so hard and so fast. And even though I was going crazy on him, I was still like picking and choosing where I wanted to punch. You know what I mean? And he
so you were poised though.
Yeah. And I just knew once I pulled that trigger, I just had to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I paused for I slowed down my pace for a split second, and he opened up his gloves just enough, and I just threw it right down the pipe, and I seen his head snap back. And ever since then, my confidence just went boom. Okay. And I was like,
now you knew what you had.
Well, I did it. I ain't gonna say I knocked him out, but he never bothered me no more. Oh. You know what I mean? So every time we sparred, he was like, he tried it the second time. Mm-hmm. Oh. He tried the same thing the second time, and I let the same thing happen again. I just kind of sat back and just, because I wasn't comfortable. Yeah. You know, with my stance, with my body mechanics and stuff like that. So, but once I said, let's go, I went after it. And ever since then, I just had a love for knocking people out. But at the same time, I knew I wanted to just be a badass like that, because I was a fan of Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali. Yeah. You know what I mean? So once I finally found out that I had some power, I didn't have a boxing coach and stuff, but I would remember just sitting in the office right there at Shootbox USA and watching YouTube. And I swear I was watching Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali. I was looking at their combinations, I was looking at their footwork, I was looking at their body movements, like everything. Like, that's what people don't know. I was watching, I swear I was just watching YouTube so much. I was watching YouTube nonstop. And I would actually practice those same moves and combinations and stuff. Wow. Yeah, I didn't go to a boxing gym. Yeah. I just watched YouTube and I just studied. That was it.
Wow. Now, so when you transitioned over to UFC, do you still have that in your mind? Like when you're striking, you're thinking everything you learned from YouTube, from Tyson, and
I incorporate all of that stuff into what I do till this day. Okay. You know what I mean? At this point, it's just natural muscle movement now. It's muscle memory. You know what I mean? I do stuff and I created my own style. Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's what some people don't get either. They try and say, what's your style? And some people are like jiu-jitsu or grappling or, kickboxer or just a boxer. I'm like,
yours is Rumble.
Yours is yours. At the end of the day, yeah, mine is Rumble. Demetrius Johnson is Demetrius Johnson style. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can mimic stuff, but you will never have that person-specific style. Right. So, am I a kickboxer? No. Am I a wrestler? Yeah. No.
John Jones gave you a good compliment the other day.
Oh, what'd he say?
Said something about him and Francis and Ngannou going back and forth lately. And he made a comment about you and him comparing and how much better you are as far as your skill set, your stamina, and whatnot. Mm-hmm. He's saying, Ngannou is just
dude,
that guy's crazy.
Francis is not human.
Genetics.
He's a beast. Yeah. I saw him here a few months back, and I saw him, and I was like, he's a big boy. He's taller than me, of course, and I was just like, his frame. I see where his knockout power comes from. You know what I mean? A true knockout artist can spot somebody. They're built a certain way. You're built a certain way whenever you have that type of power. And people don't look at that. They just think everything is in your fists, in your arms. You know what I mean? It's way more to it.
Weight into it.
It's way more to it. So when people are knockout artists, when I look at them, I can see how they're built and there's certain knockout artists that have a certain build. You know what I mean? They do have a wider back. They do have bigger shoulders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's so much power just from in these laps
Like
alone.
Mike Tyson.
Like Mike Tyson. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You've seen his recent videos.
Yeah,
He's 53.
his power and speed and just intensity is unreal. Like I still pick him over the heavyweight champ right now. Like I still
You're talking about
Tyson
anybody. Yeah,
You're talking
Tyson.
about-
I take Tyson.
You take Tyson over Gypsy King?
I take Mike Tyson over anybody right now, dude. That's how, because
Yeah.
nobody's mean like him.
Right.
Nobody's got that power. Nobody's got that speed.
He's
Boxing
ferocious,
then,
man.
Yes.
boxing then is way different than boxing now. These boys now, they want to do that boxing stuff. When they fight somebody like Mike Tyson,
Yeah.
they wouldn't.
Mike Tyson was an animal getting in
He
the
was.
ring. I remember when I was a kid, I grew up a huge boxing fan because my dad got me into it.
Mm.
And everything was Mike Tyson in my house. My father was a
Us too,
huge,
Mike Tyson.
huge Tyson fan. And we'd order the pay-per-views. They were $50, you know. Back then, you order it. You couldn't get up. I remember one pay-per-view, my father got up to use the bathroom. I said, "Dad, fight's over."
13 seconds.
You can't get up in a
I
Mike
had that
Tyson fight.
compliment.
Better than
a
the
couple
Sphinx
times.
fight.
I had
Yeah.
that compliment a
Oh,
couple
yeah.
times.
Yeah, just a few, right?
Just a few.
Might have it again soon.
Hope so, man.
Me too.
Hope so, but that's cool. John said that though. You
Yeah,
know?
he gave you a good
I like to see rivalries, man. You know, it makes it fun for us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if
sure.
it's fun for us, guess what? It's gonna be fun for you guys because we're gonna start talking. We're gonna get pumped
Love
up,
it.
and then you guys get pumped, and when we see you get pumped up, we get more
Yeah.
pumped up. So it's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun. But you know, you got to talk your trash here and there.
That's
Sure.
right.
You know,
You gotta sell
you gotta,
seats, man.
You have to
Make your money.
to fans too.
Yeah.
You got to talk back. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So you know, shout out to all the fans out there, but don't think that just because we're professionals, we're gonna keep our mouth closed and like not express ourselves.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta defend yourself.
You know, we're only gonna tolerate so much.
That's right.
You know, we're still human.
That's right.
You know, you see us.
I won't be
you see
talking
us-
shit about
you see
Rumble,
us in the
man. I
cage,
don't
you
know
see
who
us
wants to
in-
talk shit about
you
this
see
guy.
us in the cage. You know, you see a fighter.
Mhm.
You know, we have to be professional in there and dangerous at the same time.
Right.
When we're not fighting, we get to be ourselves.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember that. You know,
That's right.
you make the
When you're
person
out
that
the
you see
street.
in the cage
Yeah.
is not the person you're gonna see outside of the cage. You know
Very
what I
true.
mean? So.
Yeah, you don't know who you're dealing with.
You don't know who you're
You gotta be
dealing with,
careful,
man.
man.
But at the end of the
Treat
day,
people
man.
with respect.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the fans are pretty cool. You know what I mean? They don't really cross the line.
So, what was it like? Like, what was the initial conversation, or how did you get involved with UFC originally?
I went out for the Ultimate Fighter.
Okay.
Um,
Now you had preliminary tryouts for that show, and then
yeah, I went out for everything, and then
Okay.
they called me and said I didn't make it. And then the next week, I had a contract with UFC.
They wanted to
Dude, and it was bad because I was drinking. I like Smirnoffs. I like little, fruitcake drinks. You know, I drink
hey, you like margaritas? We'll make you a margarita right
I'm
now.
with it. I am with it. You know, I had a Smirnoff Ice. Dude, I was drinking Smirnoff Ice for a week straight. No water, no Gatorade. Dude, I was dieting so hard. You know what I mean? And like to make sure I could always make weight when I got on the show. When they called me, I was 176.
Okay.
And the show was at 170. So my weight was actually, I was pretty much on point. It
Yeah.
probably would have been ugly being on the show because I missed weight a couple of times, but I was so dialed in at that time, I wouldn't miss weight, you know, but at the same time, I probably would. I went out for it. They called me back and said, yeah, we want a last minute replacement. So I did that and knocked him out in 13 seconds. And when I did that, Bruce Buffer was standing over behind me and he said, kid, you just became a superstar.
Wow.
And like for somebody to be for that to be somebody's debut and then Bruce Buffer says that to you, you will never forget that.
Never
forget that.
Ever.
And my granddad would have been there, but my granddad had died, so my aunt came, and so those two are like neck and neck as far as like my biggest fans like that. Besides my grandma, you know what I mean. So it was dope that she was there.
That's amazing.
How did you get the nickname?
I made it up.
Okay.
No other story.
What a great nickname, though. Rumble.
A long time ago?
A long time ago, I was actually driving up to Big Bear, California, because I was going to train with.
Yeah.
I was actually training for Rocky Mountain Bad Boys in Denver, Colorado.
Okay.
My guy Shelton was running it. I fought in it. Cowboys fought in it. It was a 4-man tournament, 2 fights in one night. I fought a guy named, Richard Moskowitz and another guy, and I beat Richard pretty good, and then another guy that I fought, he actually took me down. He was actually whooping me, boy. He was putting some lumps on my head, just had my back and was popping me, dude. But I don't know how I got out, but I made it. I stood up and I was like, never again. And I put it on him after that. But it was fun. I never want to fight in Denver again unless I know in a year's time. Because I went out there 2 weeks before the fight and, a week before the fight, I think. And just to try and get acclimated to everything. And that didn't work at all. It didn't work at all. My fights, and check this, it was only 2 rounds, 5 minutes. So it was only 10 minutes.
Wow.
But dude, that was like, when you're in a fight, that's a long time.
Oh yeah.
So
5 minutes.
Yeah, every time I finished the fight, dude, I was on the back, on the floor, like breathing, trying to catch as much air as I could. My lungs were burning, man. My lungs were burning so bad. And I was like, I never want to fight again. It was worth it. And then I went out there and I did the same thing. I whooped this dude and I came back to the back and was on the floor again. My lungs were burning, but it was worth it. It had a lot of fun.
That's incredible. I remember I was in Utah once, man. First time I was like in 10,000 feet above sea level. Dude, we had to go to a Walmart, man, and get those little air pumps.
Just to help breathe.
My buddy was laughing at me.
It's
He's like,
crazy.
bro, he's like, you all right? I was like, no, man, I'm not from the mountains, you are. My buddy's like 6'6", 400 pounds. He's huge.
Big guy.
He can breathe the air around you, this guy, So I'm like, bro, just give me a little bit, Just give me a little something, man. So then, now, obviously, you took a step back from UFC for a little while. You got involved with bare knuckle. How'd that happen?
This guy named Eric, we call him Frog, he hooked me up with Dave. And Dave and I spoke. They were having bare knuckle in Cancun.
Yeah, that's
Bare
right.
Yeah. No, I wasn't there for one.
Okay.
No,
They had
was-
already been running almost a year.
Was that 2 or 3 in Cancun?
Something like that.
Yeah,
it
was in the
like
early
last.
stages.
It was last February, not this past February.
Yeah.
February.
That was the
before.
Beck
one
Rollins was there.
Yep, Beck
Was
was
that the
there.
one Joe Riggs fought at?
Yep,
I
Joe
believe
fought
so.
there.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
Joe fought there.
Yeah.
I went out there and it was absolutely beautiful in Cancun.
Pretty out there.
But the event was great. It was wild.
bet.
There was some wild stuff going
It
on.
was some
behind the
wild
scenes.
stuff going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So I heard.
And
Like, guns were involved.
Big shout out to Cancun. So right out the gate, man. BKFC made a splash in my opinion. When I first heard about it, I didn't believe it. But obviously, I went to check it out whenever I had a chance to, and it's very real. It's very real, and these guys, like MMA fighters, are wild and crazy.
Yeah.
These guys are like a level
It's
above.
next level.
Yeah, it's next level.
You gotta be a crazy tough person.
You gotta be a guy who just
Yeah.
doesn't care.
Yeah.
And like MMA fighters talk about they don't care. Oh, we care. You know what I mean? You care. But if you fighting BKFC,
You're getting busted open.
dude, you got to be the toughest guy on the planet to do something like that.
And
You
the
know what I
women.
mean? The women are doing it.
Sheena?
What's the old girl from
Faria,
Vegas?
you
Yeah.
Christina
Christina.
Faria.
Yo, big
Faria.
shout out to her.
That is
Shout out
so,
for
my
Misfit
favorite
that
bare knuckle.
fight was
Yeah,
dope
that was
with her
dope.
and the Dominican
Oh,
girl.
Yeah, the Dominican. Oh, yeah, she hit her when she was down.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
from
yeah,
the
yeah.
jump, both of them were like, those are two women like.
They're fighting again. I hear next month.
They were supposed to fight 11 and
We
when
went
you
out
went.
to Wichita, and as soon as
Yeah.
we got out there, they canceled the event because of the
Right.
COVID. So what
They
I'm
were
hearing now, this
culminating.
is not confirmed, but June 20th, back in Wichita, they're gonna have the same lineup. They're gonna set it back
okay.
up. That's what I'm hearing. That's not confirmed yet, though.
Okay.
Check with David Feldman. Shout out to David Feldman.
Yeah.
Bare knuckle
Yeah,
presence.
Dave is doing his thing, but Dave's my guy. That's my man right there,
Good
dude.
dude.
He's so cool, man.
Yeah.
He's super cool.
Excuse me one second.
You know Dave, man.
We've seen each other a few times at the events. I think we were at the last 2 or 3 together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Dave.
yeah.
Dave's a great guy.
Dave's dope, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't get him. You know what I mean? But if you hang out with him enough, and you kind of understand how he is.
Yeah.
Dave's good people.
He is good
His whole entire family is awesome. You
Absolutely,
know what I mean?
yeah.
From his in-laws, his kids, everybody.
Yeah.
His lady.
Got married. He got married this
Yeah.
year.
And,
In the Keys.
So, I'm looking forward to seeing what Dave has in store
Yeah,
next.
they got a lot of things.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like he's the guy who will shy away from competition.
He doesn't seem like the type of guy that accepts no as an answer for something that he truly wants. And just that alone, and he's not letting a lot of people in his circle. He's keeping his circle super tight,
Small circle.
super tight, which I don't blame him.
I don't
you know
either.
what I mean?
I don't either.
And you know, even if I'm not with Bare Knuckle, I'm gonna support it, dude, because
Absolutely,
it's a good,
Yeah.
it's a good organization. Like,
I love it, man. I'll
David
tell you,
takes care of it.
I got nothing but great things to say about Dave. I watched the Bare Knuckle on one pay-per-view once. I'm like, wow, what is this? This is crazy, Bare Knuckle. So I had my podcast. I was like, let me reach out to some of these guys. I would love to talk to them and find out, like, you know, what's going on.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know everything I could about it. And actually, shout out to Abby Velasquez. He was my first Bare Knuckle fighter
really?
I had on.
Goddamn.
Abby's so cool, man. And
his lady is expecting again.
A baby.
I saw that they're expecting.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's right.
Big shout out to them.
Oh, that's right. I was thinking Reggie Barnett's wife just had a kid.
Oh, Reggie Barnett.
Yeah.
Oh, real?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They like a couple of days ago.
Was
actually.
easy educated
Easy,
hands.
educated hands, baby.
Yeah.
That's one cool
I was
dude,
like, how in
man.
the world does anybody come up with that name?
I have no idea.
Like, you must have been high when he.
He's so funny, man. I did a Bare Knuckle podcast, and it was just like a live call-in. Everybody pretty much on the roster was calling in, and at one point I had like 5 or 6 guys. I had Bedford on there, Abby, Dat, Reggie was on there. And Reggie was so funny because Reggie came on, and his wife was in the bed, like in the background, and we're like, Reggie, what's going on back there in the background? He said, oh, it's my wife, she's pregnant. In the bed, she's resting, and she's yelling at him too. It was so funny. We were like cracking up.
And she can scream.
Yeah.
Because whenever
Yeah.
he was fighting,
Mhm.
buddy, she was right behind me screaming, giving it to me, boy. Giving it to me, boy. I was like, hey, that's his lady.
That's right. She's doing
She's
it.
his biggest fan right
Yeah.
now. Hey,
Mhm.
cheer on, woman.
Absolutely.
Get your scream on right now.
Great people.
Yeah.
I have the privilege of, Dave allows me backstage, which is really cool of him to do that. And, Ryan was there with me, and we had such a great time, man.
Yeah.
And it's cool because you get to know everybody, outside the ring.
Everybody's pretty, like I said, the staff
Yeah.
is pretty.
Shout out to
pretty-
Kevin Smith and Smith Brothers Combat Sports in Tampa.
Yeah, so the whole entire staff to
Yeah.
me is amazing.
Nate.
For the most part, I think we all click for the most part and make it work.
Yeah.
We still have a lot of improving and growing to do, but what organization doesn't? We still have a long way to go, but it's happening fast
Sure
at the
is,
same
yes,
time.
it is.
So honestly, sky's the limit, man, for Bare Knuckle.
Yeah.
Like I have nothing against any other organization, but I'm really rooting for Bare Knuckle, man.
Me
I
too.
really want to see them
Me
succeed
too.
because
Yeah.
they started literally from like scratch,
Right.
like from scratch. You know what
Dave
I mean?
told me, Dave was on the podcast a few times, and Dave had told me that 8 years he was working on this. 8 years
8 years.
of being told no by different states and different commissions.
Nobody
and
to sanction
they
it.
and finally, I think Wyoming
Yeah, something like that.
was the first one to
Something
open
like
up.
that,
And now, look what's
When
happening.
one says okay, the rest of them start jumping on
Of
board.
course,
then.
man, they want to make money at the end
Yeah.
of the day. They see there's an interest, and now Shannon Briggs gets signed.
Shannon Briggs.
That's big. I heard rumors at Rumble versus Briggs.
No.
No, you're Shannon Briggs versus Tyson.
Let's go, champ. He can have it. You know what I mean? Shannon. I like Shannon, man. Shannon,
Good
he
man.
has good energy.
Yes,
I like
he
his
does.
energy.
I love
I like the fact that he can turn it on and off at the same time.
Yes, he can.
I like his little thing with Klitschko.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was the best.
I met him, and seen him in public and stuff, and he shows you mad love, but not just to other athletes. He shows it to everybody.
Normal people.
Everybody he'll show love to, and you gotta love somebody like that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
He's
mean?
got
He's
good
loud,
energy.
he's outgoing, but hell, who isn't?
Right,
At
his-
some point.
Well, we've been doing promos for when he was on the podcast,
Yeah.
man. Let's go, champ! And he's got like 1,000 people behind
Yeah,
him. Champ. Dude, one guy does that. I mean, he's got that energy.
When you're a
man.
good person
Yep.
Yeah.
He's a good
and you
person.
got good energy,
Yeah.
people will support
They're
you.
gonna sell
man.
tickets, man.
Yeah.
And
sells
Dave's doing a
tickets.
great job. We got Hector. Now Thiago Alves is in the pipeline to fight.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see my guy Thiago.
Yeah,
He's
man.
a
That's a
coconut
great,
creek for
Yeah,
ATT.
great
Yeah.
fighter,
Yeah.
man.
It's not
I mean, it's Hector's a great addition to the roster.
Absolutely.
I mean, look at him. Hector's built like a brick wall.
Sure is.
You know,
that
he
man is
throws
made
it-
of stone.
Yeah, and when he throws a punch, I mean,
Man.
you know what I'm saying? So
He's only what, 5'10", right? 5'10" and 205.
you know what, dude, he could, if it was, he could be probably built in height as structure wise the closest thing to Tyson.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Yeah.
You know
He
what I mean?
actually called out Tyson on IG.
I saw that.
You saw that?
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
was
said
like, leave
he'll
it
fight
alone,
him.
dude. Leave it alone.
Leave
Leave it alone. You know, I'm just saying, just leave it alone. He, you know, Mike had his time.
I don't think
This is
Tyson's
time.
fighting bare knuckle though. It doesn't sound like it.
I don't know.
I heard-
I mean,
we'll
whoever's at heavyweight, I wouldn't want to fight Mike if he came over to bare knuckle. You see what he did with gloves on?
Yeah.
Without gloves.
That's scary.
You know what I'm saying? So.
That-
And if he learns how to hold and he can do the underhook and still hit you with the other,
Right.
I mean, Mike will be dangerous. In that,
Yes, he can, man.
you know.
Yes,
But
he can.
head movement is like his head movement would be
That's scary.
ridiculous. But you know,
Let's see, when he was like younger, like 17, when he
Yeah.
was training for the Olympics, man, and he's doing that roll. His rolls were so fast. I was like, I couldn't even
perfect timing,
comprehend it.
perfect timing and everything. But you know, we keep talking about Mike, but I'm just excited about all these young guns and stuff in bare knuckle that are coming up. Guys that a lot of you guys haven't heard about, that are making waves already in bare knuckle because they're putting it on the line.
Jim Ellers, man.
Yeah,
Jim
that's
Ellers.
my guy too.
Yeah,
He
Jim
he
Ellers.
fights.
Oh,
Shout out to Jim.
Jim fights. You know what I
Dude,
mean?
like people, you need to
yeah.
look up Jim Ellers.
Jim will fight.
Look
Johnny
him
will
up.
fight.
Johnny
you know
Bedford.
what I mean? Johnny will fight.
Johnny's great.
That
Dat
win
Nguyen?
will fight.
Oh,
that
that's good.
that.
You know that has a restaurant in Vero Beach.
I
Yeah.
heard.
Yeah,
I
and
heard.
he's like, yo, anytime you're in Vero, let me know. Come up there.
Vietnamese
He said,
food.
"Fo on me, bro."
Super nice place.
They got
Yeah,
they
that's a
got
nice spot.
they got Hector, they got Thiago now. What's the heavyweight guy, the Executioner?
Oh, you talking
Oh,
about Joey
Joey
Belcher?
Belcher.
Yeah, they got
Heavyweight
him.
champion.
That guy's a
Yeah,
beast.
I mean,
bro.
we got old school guys and we still got guys that are still on the up and up. You know what I mean? So
Chris Saro,
Cuban assassin, bro.
Lionheart.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Gustavo Trujillo.
yeah, when
Yeah,
he
Gustavo,
when
that
he popped the old boy.
Yeah, Lorenzo.
Yeah, Lorenzo
Yeah.
Hunt.
Yeah.
Lorenzo
Yeah,
Hunt. He
yeah.
caught him, but he did pop him with an elbow.
It was like a short.
Yeah, but the elbow came through. But man,
We were there together for that
he
one.
still ripped him right down the middle.
So I saw him fight
Yeah.
live twice.
Yeah.
First, his debut in Tampa, and he got a 40-second knockout, and then I think it was 37 seconds
Yeah.
in the first round,
I was like,
and then 40 seconds or a minute something.
Dude,
didn't
I
realize
like
what
that
happened.
cat. I like that cat.
He's
like,
powerful.
He's powerful. I like his
Long.
swag.
Yeah.
Like, he's just cool, confident. You know what I mean? Like if he was American, dude, his fan base would be
Oh, yeah.
through the roof.
But you know his Cuban fan base is tremendous.
Oh, really?
It's huge. He does Facebook lives like quite often.
Yeah.
He's got hundreds of people on his
Really?
live feed. Like he just go
Yeah,
live
I
on
had
the cuff, bro.
never heard of the cat, but then when
Me either.
I was a fan. As soon as I saw him, like just from the beginning, like even just walking to the cage, you can see how confident this
Oh,
dude
yeah.
was.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
This dude, like I'm
Super
like, yo, he this is a good fighter, And then I saw his movement,
Yeah.
and him throw that punch. I was like,
Like,
this is a
he's
real
big
good
man. I
fighter.
think he's about 6'3".
He actually does MMA too.
He does, yeah.
MMA too.
Yep,
So I was
yeah.
like, this is a good guy. Like I
His
like him.
story. Nobody knows his story.
Yeah.
Are we off?
In an hour, yeah. Cut me off.
Okay, so we'll take 5
Yeah.
and then we'll finish
yeah,
out.
take 5.
Cool.
We'll close it out. Take a little smoke break. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Whatever
I think
Yeah.
this is the only podcast that I think
do what
does
we want.
this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We'll just let you take a little 5 smoke break and. Jules, how you doing? You having a good time? Do you need
I'm great.
anything?
Let's tell me when we can go. All right.
Are we live?
Let's do it.
We're live.
Let's do it.
We're
We
back.
live.
Part 2, baby.
Did it.
We came
Part
back.
2 with
We came
Rumble.
back.
Yeah.
Shout out Chum Slick, Marketing Advantage LLC.
Chum Slick.
Video
Remember that name.
editing,
Yeah.
baby.
Remember that name.
That's like a rapper name.
That's their
Hold
rapper
on,
name.
hold on. Let me get. Jesus, take it easy here. What's the phone number? Ah. Good
Chump
stuff.
Slick. Where'd you come up with Chump Slick?
Well, it was just
That's a
my
street.
love for
That's a
fishing.
street name, though.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, it's my love for fishing. I came from the tough streets of rural, suburban South Boston territory. Yeah, so he knows. And I love fishing, and to combine my love for fishing into what I do to keep me, motivated.
Came up with Chump Slick.
Chum Slick.
Chum slick, man. When you go out fishing,
Yeah.
and you set up a slick so the fish come to you,
Yeah.
right? So they come to you. And in life, in life, it's always easier when people come to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you were to,
got
like, if
that
you have
right.
Instagram and
Simple slick.
Facebook, if you just put Chum Slick and you just put like something with graffiti or something
You're gonna
crazy
see
on
it. You're gonna see it. But I'm gonna tag you on this stuff, and
Yeah,
it's gonna be in
but
your
I'm
face.
saying if
Yeah.
you hear his name and
Sounds
then you
fun.
and then you see like some graffiti or something, you'll think a black dude or something like that did it. But then his picture pop up.
That's right. White dude with glasses.
Yeah, exactly.
The tough
Right?
streets of
Looking
Canton,
like he ready to go play
Canton,
golf.
Massachusetts.
They might be surprised. Oh,
But that's like that wrestling surprise, right? No one
Yeah.
knows that you wrestle.
Yeah,
You keep
yeah.
it low,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know. And then it's like when the bell rings, it's skill time.
That's right.
Skills on display.
well, we're back live, guys.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. Rumble, Rumble's talking about a return to the UFC. Everybody wants to know when, where, blah blah blah. Let's hear it from him. Let's see what he wants to do. Give him something.
I don't know when, but it'll be next year. I mean, and if it is this year, that's what happens. Am I in a rush? No, I don't. It's not my first go around. This time I'm just, I mean, it's business, but I'm about to have fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Before I felt like I had to work. You know what I mean? And I was younger. So my mentality was different. Now this is fun, and I'm enjoying myself, and that's all that matters. I got my whole crew changed for the better. Everything is much tighter now, and I thought it was tight before, but now it's like tight. And we're just gonna do what we got to do, go to the top. 36. I retired when I was 33. By the time I fight, I'll probably be 37. But I haven't slowed down. I've sparred since I sparred whenever I was bigger.
Right.
And
How big were you in
I
those
gotta be-
pictures with Redcon? 260, 270?
Depends on what
Was it-
time.
He looked
frame.
about
Frame.
280,
Yeah,
bro.
now but tell me what time frame
Okay.
we're talking about.
Yeah. You didn't hit 300, did you?
No, I didn't do that. I was determined not to let that happen. But I started doing the bodybuilding
Yeah.
stuff, so I got up to like 260 for sure.
Yeah.
And then whenever I stopped doing the bodybuilding, because everything else in life was starting to take over and go left, I just stopped training, stopped taking care of myself at the end of the day, which I had every right to do. I had been in the gym and playing sports my whole entire life. I never let my body get to the point where it was a wreck. And even whenever I was fighting and I wasn't training, was I bigger? Yeah, but I wasn't sloppy. You know what I mean? And once I stopped lifting for like 6-7 months, I just let myself go. I didn't care. But even when I was that big, you could see it for sure in my face and in my clothes, but I wasn't like, I just wasn't a sloppy built guy to be, 270, 280 at the time. You know what I mean? So whenever I looked in the mirror, I just saw just a big body dude. You know what I'm saying? I just said, okay, everything grew a little bit. You know what I'm saying? What everybody else saw was probably on a much larger scale, which was fine. You know what I mean?
I saw you jacked, man. Like
No,
huge.
yeah, I was at one point. I was
Your
like,
biceps
That was like WWE stuff.
yeah, at one
That
point
was
I was
big.
like,
I was like, wow.
yeah, I got.
And I saw him live, and then I saw him after he lost some weight and got into shape. I seen like a transition
Yeah, well,
from like 270
she's
to 280.
seen like Julie's seen from 170 all the way up to Fat Albert. You know what I mean?
They're fat.
So I mean, I was fat. You know what I mean? But I know my body.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How many guys that have my frame can even scratch the surface of touching 170? You know what I mean?
Oof.
And I was big then just to fight 170. My frame just wasn't made for 170, but I decided to get back into the game, and thanks to DC and Stipe for their rematch, that just fired me
That
up.
was the inspiration.
It just fired me up, and I had I thought I was gonna fight heavyweight, you know what I mean, which I still can.
Yeah.
And but once I started training, it just started coming off. That and Julia, she cooked. She'd been doing my diet for years now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I never had an issue since she was like cooking and stuff like that.
All right, Julie, shout.
Yeah,
shout
yeah,
out
no,
to
yeah,
Julie.
like
Julie, I'm
you
coming
know,
over.
You know,
I need some healthy cooking.
Yeah, you know, like everybody that's like truly stuck with me, like I'm definitely grateful for
You're
everybody
blessed.
that's
You're
like
loyal.
stayed by me through every process, from the beginning to now. You know what I mean? So my loyalty still lies with those people.
So you want to come back UFC light heavyweight?
I'll be back at light heavyweight.
Light heavyweight.
If you know what, the thing about it, even whenever I was losing weight, and when I lost weight, people think it was all diet, but I mean, it was diet, definitely diet, but I got sick at the same time. You know, just laying around and whatnot for a year, you know what I mean? Year and a half, and then just getting back into it when you're out of shape. My body like crashed. Yeah. It just was like, all right, we got to get all this out.
Yeah, not used
you
to
know,
this.
and everything just started coming out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we just, you know, did morning cardio and ate right, and it worked out. You know what I mean?
Were you thinking heavyweight at one point?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was.
It just started coming off, and you're like, you know what?
Yeah. You know,
This is where I'm
I
at.
figured whenever I started this whole journey that I would probably top out at about 250, something like that, 240, 250. You know, and like be solid. You know, because I didn't think I was going to be able to lose, you know, 50, 60 pounds. You know, I figured, you know, 20 the most.
Right.
And I ended up losing way more. And but I think going down to light heavyweight for me will be a little bit of a challenge because I'm 235, between 235 and 240 now.
Okay.
And I'm bigger and leaner now than what I was when I was fighting 205. What I look like now, when I was fighting 205, I would be dieting and I would already be in camp by like, let's say 5 weeks.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, why do I look like I'm 5 weeks in the camp now and I'm between 235 and 240? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I packed on a lot of muscle doing that, but it could be a good thing.
Yep.
Muscle retains a lot of water. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I think I'll be fine. My speed didn't slow. I didn't get slower. I didn't get any weaker.
Got rest.
I didn't get. I mean, I got stiffer. You know.
That
I
age
wasn't.
thing sucks,
I wasn't stretching, man. I wasn't stretching.
I've been stretching every day, bro. Nothing's going away. It's getting worse.
So you know, my mobility is still there.
Yeah.
My athleticism didn't leave, thank God. You know. So whenever I stepped back in the gym, I mean, I was a little rusty, but whenever it came to doing like strength and conditioning and the ladder work and stuff like that, my movements and stuff, it was still there. My footwork was still on point.
Nice.
Like my you know, core movements and stuff, workouts, I still got the same, probably more power now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So everything seemed like it got better instead of worse for me.
So when you talk about that potential light heavyweight class, who are some of the opponents?
Everybody.
I know next year is next year, and you don't know.
Everybody.
Today, say just
everybody.
look fast forward and you put yourself in that scenario today.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody. I'm trying to make everybody
Anyone.
a victim.
You're going for a
Oh.
title run, right?
Yeah, I'm not going back to just patty cake. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
everybody can get
So-
it. You know, there are there's, you know, maybe one or two that I feel like are real people to me, so that I feel like I have a closer relationship to on more of a personal level. If I was offered the fights with them, I would probably say no, because I do consider them friends. You know, I'm not going to say the name because then people start talking. You know what I mean? And trying to get stuff started.
I know one of them, and I'm not going to say it.
So
Just
I
from
just
respect to that.
you know, I just want to fight. You know, of course.
Anybody in particular in your mind?
No, just everybody.
Just anybody.
Everybody, man.
Okay.
You know, you can't. The light heavyweight division is stacked.
It is.
Everybody else sees it as
You can dominate
not so tough. Because John has ran through everybody, and then everybody's beating everybody, so it's stacked. You know what I mean?
Some say Reyes, deserves a rematch. I'm not sure, but we'll see. I guess that's a good fight.
It was a
Dominic
very good
Reyes.
I mean, personally, I don't care. It's not my fight.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, take your L and move on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You didn't win. It was a good fight, a close fight. But just like Gus, you got to move on and work your way right back up.
That's
You know,
right.
if anybody
100%.
got robbed and needed a rematch and deserved one, it was Gus. Reyes' fight was not even close to being at the level Gus and John fight was. So if anybody ever deserved a rematch against John, it was Gus. Reyes can go ahead and hang that up when it comes to a rematch. You know what I mean? And we didn't even see the best John there was when he fought Reyes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I have nothing against Reyes. I've been in this game too long. I can see a fighter and tell if that fighter's going to beat this other fighter. You know what I mean? Reyes isn't finna beat John. Reyes did good though. He did good. I mean, he gave John a run for his money, but he just didn't have the that extra step.
Right.
You know, John was always a step ahead, and that's why John has been. You know, people talk about Khabib as pound for pound #1, but John has been in this thing longer than Khabib, and he still hasn't been beaten.
Right.
So at the end of the day, John should be pound for pound #1
Just
guy.
that DQ.
You know, just that DQ.
That hammer.
Yeah, the elbow.
Yeah.
And I was watching that fight, you know, and if it wasn't for that, John would have.
He was fucking him up too.
Yeah, John was winning, hands down,
Yeah, he was.
smashing.
Fucking
You
him
know,
up.
Yeah, he
and
was.
Can you hear
yeah,
me now?
so if
I'm sorry.
so if
I'm fucked.
so if you know, Reyes did his thing, but just couldn't get the job done.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, people want to complain after their losses. You know what I'm saying, and try and make a stand or whatever you want to call it. I'm like, man, you lost. I can see if it was a true slugfest and like Gus and John and that required a rematch. It should have happened back to back.
Yeah.
But they you know, it's business. You gotta do what you gotta do. I hate when these fighters lose and I feel like I got robbed. No, you lost. That's what you got. You know what I mean? John wasn't in any danger ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So did he get hit? Yeah. It's a fight. You know what I mean? So he's gonna get hit. He's
Just
gonna
like
get
Anthony
kicked.
Smith, he lost last weekend.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, let's move
I
on."
like
Let's go
Anthony,
back
dude.
to business.
Anthony has such a good spirit. Win, lose, or draw. You know, I hung out with him. You know, he's a really good guy.
Yeah.
We hung out at the quintet grappling match in Vegas, and we were on the same team. So it was me, Sean O'Malley.
Oh, Sugar Shane.
Yeah.
He's a smoker.
Yeah. Who else? Was
Shout out
it?
to Sugar Show.
Who else? Was Gilbert Dorino, Gilbert Burns,
Yeah,
my
Gilbert.
guy. Good luck to
Gilbert
Gilbert
Burns.
too, man. He's got Tyron Woodley
Oof,
next, man.
man.
Okay.
That's
Woodley's-
a hell of a match for both of them because Gilbert works hard, dude.
Yeah.
He works hard. I've seen that dude evolve throughout the years from being in the gym with us. You know what I mean? I seen him whenever he came in to, at the time our gym was called Level 5, and his strikes were not where they are now. And Gilbert, once he got the taste of like a knockout, Gilbert's been doing his thing because his jiu-jitsu is great.
Okay.
He has really good jiu-jitsu. You know, he works hard, very, very hard.
He's,
So
He's fighting
black
Woodley.
too?
yeah, black belt, huh?
He's fighting Woodley.
Yeah.
This month.
Yeah,
The
30th.
Right.
Oh, that's right.
Is
Yeah.
that here
I saw
in,
that.
uh,
I think-
is
I
it-
have no
I
idea.
saw that
Like,
announcement this morning. That
Yeah,
was
I
the first
guess,
time I saw it.
that's
Yeah,
gonna-
but
winner probably get a title shot.
Yeah, like Gilbert, if Gilbert wins, which he definitely could, like, good luck to him. Like,
Yeah.
I hope he goes all the way. But Tyron is no punk.
Nope.
Oh,
You know what I
definitely
mean? He's
not.
no punk.
That'd be a
So,
good fight.
yeah, I look forward to seeing what they can do, man.
Yeah, UFC. I mean, they've done. I mean, again, Dana White's done a great job. Now the Fight Island. Did you hear where that Fight Island?
I don't even know where that's at.
It's like so under wraps. But I heard like next week's supposed to be an announcement for
I
that.
have no
Yeah,
idea.
they bought an island and they're
Man.
building it now.
Yeah, I stay in my lane. Whenever I get the news and
Yeah.
that's where I'm supposed to be, then that's when I find out.
Sometimes I was like, "Hey, Ron, did you hear that?" He's like, "No. What happened? I'm like, I don't know. I saw it on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you back in the octagon, man. I'm glad that you made the decision to get back because really, there's nothing like an Anthony Johnson fight.
That's
I mean,
right.
I loved watching you when you fought, and the knockout power, the excitement that you bring to
There's
the
nothing
table.
like it, man.
There really isn't. And people always talked about an Anthony Rumble Johnson fight.
They
I'll
always
tell you,
will.
I remember one night I was in Boca at Tilted Kilt when that place was open.
Yeah.
The girls,
airport.
right?
Yes,
Airport.
Road. Yeah. And I was with a bunch of my buddies. We all like watching MMA together. And I forget who you were fighting, man, but it was quick. It was like first round, 10 seconds, man. Who you not?
Wait, how long ago? What was he wearing? I can tell you that.
Was he Brazilian?
It was like
Brazilian, white guy, black guy.
it
knocked
was like
them all
about
out.
3-4 years ago.
Well,
Maybe about like 5 years ago.
There's a lot of knockouts.
I know, man. But you know what?
okay,
It'll
let me
come to
see.
me.
Light heavyweight. It was only 2 people that survived that I didn't knock out. Phil Davis.
This was like 10 seconds, bro. This was like in the first round. Like it was over.
Glover, what was that one?
13.
13 seconds first round?
Yeah, it might have been.
Well, I got, okay, so I beat Phil in my UFC debut at 205. Second fight, I had Little Nog.
Little Nog.
I knocked out Little Nog
hurt him
in
bad.
a minute.
You heard him bad.
First punch that landed, he was on skates.
Oh, I wanted to ask you. There was a fight that I didn't see. What was?
Heavyweight, Arlovsky.
Not Arlovsky. I saw that fight,
Okay.
which was a good fight.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't want to fight like that anymore.
yo, you even said at post fight, you were like, yeah, these guys are big up there. Yeah.
I mean, Arlovsky, like, a lot of people don't realize how tough Arlovsky is. I mean, like, Arlovsky, he comes to fight. He'll go out on his shield and try and put you on yours. You know what I mean? So I have a ton of respect for Arlovsky and his style. Whenever he was UFC champion, I was like, that's how a UFC champion is supposed to look and fight. You know what I mean?
the
He had
beast.
the look, he had the skills,
fangs,
he just had the swag, like everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, that's a true heavyweight.
He was
'Cause he was
feared.
still built athletic. It wasn't like sloppy
Right.
or like, you know, he's still ripped up,
Yep.
big, he looked good, he had everything going for him,
Yeah.
man. I was like, that's what a champ should look like.
He-
But
he's
now,
a beast.
champions are built way different. It don't matter how you're built anymore, as long as you get the job done.
Slugfest, bro.
Yeah.
It's still heavy. I tell you, and I feel bad for Big Ticket that he lost because everything going on.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, that was a
Overeem.
good, he was a big tough guy, you know.
He
But-
did like I did. He went in there, and he got a good hit.
Yep.
And wanted to put him out. He smelled blood instantly and tried to put him out, just like I did with DC.
Yep.
The first time we fought, I dropped him. You see red. You go in there and try and finish him. It's like any dog that get a
Natural
taste of
instinct.
blood or smell some blood, you're gonna go after it and go, So he did that and just gassed himself out. That's all he did. It wasn't that Alistair beat him,
Right.
but he beat him, but he didn't beat him on like a fresh body like that. You see what happened because when they were fresh,
Yeah.
when Will got tired, Alistair used his fight IQ and his experience and his skill and popped him.
Yeah.
And with a guy like Alistair, you cannot play around. Even though he gets knocked out, a good amount of times, like the dude he was still a champion at one
Still
point. He still
dangerous.
got those skills that kick in when he's on autopilot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He turned 40 that night.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He almost
That's
lost his
crazy,
life
man.
and turned 40, and he came back. You know what I'm saying? But you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
he was hurt, and most of the time, Alistair is out by the
right.
time you give him 3-4 good punches. You know what I mean? Will was hitting him, but I think he was just gassing himself out. And Alistair threw
Didn't give him 100.
nice. What was it, a kick?
Yeah.
Right outside his dome.
Yeah,
Boy,
man.
you heard
beastly,
it.
dude.
Yeah.
You heard it.
That was-
I
you
was
could
like,
kick
oh,
like that. I've
Cool
seen
thing,
you kicks
man,
in my
about
like
like
that.
these empty arenas. you
yeah,
get
I
every
wasn't.
move,
I don't
man.
even think I didn't see the kick, but I heard it, and I looked up and I was like, "Oh,
Sound like
I saw-
bamboo
I
stands.
saw my guy go down, and
K1.
I felt bad for him though, because I knew he had a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can't even say I understand or I feel your pain because I can't. I'm not even going to go that route, but I felt bad for him even while he was fighting.
It was tough
Before
to
the fight,
look at.
during the fight,
Yeah, it's tough.
and after the fight, I just felt like I just felt bad because of what him and his family went through.
And you got to give this man credit to get back up after going through everything he went through,
Yeah.
and to get back training again and to fight at the level that he was fighting at. I mean, that man is a strong dude up here.
Yeah.
Super
Yeah.
strong,
Yeah.
man. And hats off to Alistair, man. Right after the match, you know, gave his respects.
Hats off.
Yeah, man. Just classy. You know, I like seeing stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know,
Big fan.
although it's fun to watch, you know, the amp up the fight. Obviously, you want to see shit talking.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
want
yeah.
you love that. But at the end of that fight, man, respect is earned in that
Respect.
in that ring, in that octagon, and I was happy to see that ending.
Who was it? I think the little Asian cat that's he was Uriah Faber's crew or something like that.
Oh,
And he beat
Dong? The
Yeah,
Jadong?
And he beat
Jadong.
he beat somebody,
Yeah.
and the dude, the Asian cat went up to him to shake
He's
his
like-
hand, and the dude like pushed
Yeah.
his away. I'm like, how you get mad at the man because
Right.
the judges said he won? Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna be mad at anybody, be mad at the judges who are, you
Saw
know,
that.
don't know MMA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they made
And
a lot of.
you know, there was a
fuck
lot of
ups.
stuff. You know, and for me, I'm like, that's why I don't like leaving it in the judge's hands, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, when I go in there, I ain't trying to stand there for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to let you breathe. I ain't trying to let the judge make any decisions. I'm not trying to do nothing but let the ref pull me off you if he has to. That's it.
After
you know
that
what I mean?
hammer fist
Yeah,
when they're on
that's
the
it.
ground.
That's why I don't like if I go all 3 rounds. If I'm a co-main event and I go 3 rounds, or if I'm a main event and I go all 5, however long. If I go the full length, I'm nervous as hell.
Yeah.
I'm super nervous. When I fought Alistair, because before then I was still cracking people and knocking them out, and then I met Andre Arlovski, and whenever we went to the judges, man, I'm sitting there like praying, eyes closed, eyes half open, eyes half closed. I'm kind of looking at the ring announcer to see what he's gonna say. I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, I don't think nobody sees that I'm looking, but I was like, I'm pretty sure my eyes was wide open, you know. But whenever he said I won, dude, when I screamed, it was a scream from like relief. Not that I won, I just was just glad that I was glad that it came to me, but I just don't want to leave it in the judge's hands because those
you don't know
dudes-
what's gonna happen.
those dudes, you think you about to go right, they make you go left. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't like leaving it in the hands of the judges because, I mean, no disrespect to them, but they may have had some training. Some of them have training. You know what I mean?
They ain't never been in the trenches.
But you know,
lot
but
of
they
them.
haven't been in the trenches like that. They haven't did true kickboxing. They may do. Some of them may have did karate or kung fu or something. But that stuff is so far in the past. You know, we need guys that are retired MMA fighters.
100%,
You know,
100%.
and most MMA fighters, you know, aren't even, you know, biased. You know, we understand if you lose, you lose. If you win, you win. If it was a close fight, all right, it could have went either way. You can't be upset because it didn't go your way if it was a close fight. You know what I mean? But we definitely need judges that are retired fighters and experienced. You know what I mean? The refs overall are pretty good. You know what I mean? Herb Dean and everybody else in
Big
there
Dan.
is just
My buddy, Mr.
Big Dan
Beltran.
Mergliotta.
Mergliotta, yeah. He's a BKFC.
And, Big
event.
John.
Yeah.
You know.
Big John McCarthy.
Yeah, dude. The refs are pretty awesome. You know what I mean? Do they see everything? No. Are they gonna always make the right call? No. But are they always gonna save your life? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They
they're
will,
human
for the
beings
most part.
too.
They'll. I mean, if they know you, they know how tough you are now. Like Anthony Smith,
Yeah.
they'll let you fight it out because you never know what can happen when you got a guy that tough.
Yeah,
And
his
sometimes being tough works against you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm tough, but if you whooping my butt, I'm like, hey, hey, over here. I'm trying to get you to come over here and rescue me. You know what
Help
I'm
me out
saying?
there, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a man. I ain't afraid to tap. I ain't
right.
afraid to ask for help. I ain't afraid to ask for nothing.
Live
You know what
another
I'm
day.
saying? Hey,
That's right.
I live to another day. I love air. You know what I'm saying? Y'all choke me even a little bit. I'm like, don't Don't play no games, yo. I need this. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get all of that. You know, so you know, it's sometimes being tough can work against you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And as far as fighters and as mentally tough as we are, a lot of times it just works. It works against us. You know, we have a mentality to just keep going, and keep going, and for the most part, it works out because.
One of the things I noticed too at the event we did in Fort Lauderdale was that the medical staff that was on site I was really surprised at the level of care that they took pre and post fight.
Yeah.
At the BKFC event?
Yeah.
Well,
right.
all of them
That
are
was
like that
insane.
for the most part.
Yeah.
You know,
They had
the
their own
medical
little
staff
area.
is pretty
It
on
was
point.
like, yeah, they really made sure
Yeah. Yeah.
that the people.
The only time we
in the
had
ring
an
were
issue, we had an issue one time when I fought Andre and I broke my right hand.
Right.
We was up in Atlantic City and we went to that hospital, bro. Andre was on one side of the curtain, I was on the other. He's got missing teeth and a broken jaw. I got a broken hand because I broke it the last 12 seconds of the entire fight.
Oh shit.
That's when I broke my hand. Really, like
All the way to
everything was dope. You know what I mean? I got a couple of lumps on my face because we were really throwing leather, but I broke my hand because I punched him in the forehead.
Yeah.
At the 12-second mark, I punched him square in the forehead, and I didn't just feel it. I heard it. It just, snapped. I grabbed my hand like this, and I made a face like, yeah, mate. And I was like,
It hurts me thinking about it.
I'm like, oh man. And I made a face, and I'm like, I know he saw that. So as soon as he stepped in, I grabbed his leg again. I was like, I gotta hold on for
Hang
dear
on
life.
tight.
Just hold on.
Hang on. I saw that. You were hanging on
Yeah, I
his
was
leg.
just holding on.
Come on,
Most
Judges.
people don't know why I was holding on. They thought I was trying to just like wrestle. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I'm trying to survive.
Yeah,
You know
well,
what I
because
mean?
the commentators were saying, why does he keep dropping his head? Why is he dropping his head at
Well,
the end?
whenever I was trying to take him down,
Yeah.
I was just stalling shit out. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if I'm truly trying to wrestle with you, you're gonna have to try and stop you. You're not throwing punches and stuff, really. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, that's what I was doing. Did it work? No, because Andre can wrestle. He has great wrestling actually, and he's tough as nails.
Beast.
But yeah, but we went to the hospital in New Jersey, and dude, that was like the worst. The lady, they were bad. It was bad. Like we got there, and I don't think we left until like 5 a.m, and the fight was over at like what 12,
Yeah, 12.
1. Well, I didn't leave the hospital till like 5, something like that, dude. The staff was just terrible, dude.
Which
Like-
hospital was it?
Huh? I don't know. I don't care
yeah.
no more.
No shout out to the hospital.
No shout-outs. That's what I was going to say.
Dude,
Sorry,
all I
ATL.
can say is that I was half drunk. They had me drugged up, but I still remember how bad it was, and that's bad whenever you got somebody that's on drugs and still say, "Yo, this is pretty bad," So they were terrible,
Yeah.
but never go to a hospital in the Atlantic City.
Well, damn man, that was a blast. Man.
Yeah,
It was Rumble. Thank you so
I
much,
appreciate it,
man,
boss.
for
Thank you, man.
coming on tonight
Thank you,
Yeah.
brother.
sharing
Thank
your
you.
stories, and we're excited to see you back.
I got a
in
couple
the
more
octagon.
stories.
Yeah, we'll have
yeah.
we'll come again soon, maybe.
We're gonna do.
G14 classified.
What? What'd you say?
G14 classified.
G14
Oh,
classified.
that's sealed.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna unseal that or what?
Maybe.
Maybe
We'll
one
see.
day.
We'll see.
Let's-
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, boss. I
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
it, man. Thank you.
This was fun. God bless you,
Yeah,
brother.
thank you.
And,
Thank you, fans.
Yeah.
Now that I know we're neighbors, bro,
Right down the
you
road.
know, I'll see you at Bar Louie or something.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
A couple of shots.
Yeah, hey, I'm always down for a couple
We
shots.
got Bar Louie, Burger Fire. You name it, we got it.
Yeah, we got everything here. That's why I love it here, man.
Yeah,
It's
me too.
walking
Me
distance,
too.
bro.
Yes, sir.
Shout out
awesome.
to Florida.
I appreciate it.
Shout
Yes, sir.
out.
Thank
Yes.
you to everybody.
Thank you.
Rumble Squad.
Rumble
Rumble
Squad,
Squad.
baby. I told Chris we're gonna go out.
Do it, yeah.
You guys wanna go?
It's right here. It's right here.
I think tomorrow.
Rumble Squad.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let's hit the whole squad. Squad up. Squad up. Squad deep.
I got squad up.
Squad deep.
We in the
Man.
picture of video.
Video.
Okay.
We'll
All right.
get the picture.
Yeah,
Let's go. We're going to get my gang something out. Okay, yeah.